Hello everyone, and welcome to Ludo History. Today we are playing Golden Sun, which is one of my all-time favorite games. Literally, I think I played this first in 2005? So a few years after it came out. It came out in 2001. But I adore this. I've adored this since it came out. Actually, I played Lost Age first. I played the second game in the series first, which made me very confused. But then I went back and played this one, and it's so good. This game is so good, guys. You are all in for a treat. It's also a great example to kind of justify why it's here. Devonga Chronox, thank you. Yes, we're playing Golden Sun, and I'm so hyped. So while we're playing it on this channel, in a show that's theoretically about history and games, when this is as fancy JRPG as it gets, there are like 300, give or take, mythological and folkloric references in this game. Between the summons, the djinn, the monsters, the weapons, the armor, and the story. It's a ludicrous amount of references to stuff. Absolutely comical amounts of references, and it starts right away. The third dialogue box of the game, Mount Aleph. Now, Aleph is of course the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet, which I think we should think of marking this as an origin point for the world, and obviously therefore an immediately reference to religious traditions, and should put us in the mindset of thinking of this as a world super steeped in religion. Right, 3 text boxes in, and we already got one. Also, technically you could think of, Isaac here, being a reference, of course, to the son of Abraham, but I think that reference says a little bit less over the Mount Aleph one. So, it takes us no time to get started. You are about 1.5 minutes late this dude. Oh, by the way, guys, this morning, actually just 2 hours ago, we hit 1,300 followers here on Twitch, which is absolutely ludicrous, and thank you all so much for the support. Oh boy. And, actually, look here. Next interesting thing, we got outside and we can now actually see our houses. Thatch roof. Wood paneling with white, with painted windows. This says a vaguely late medieval, early modern aesthetic. Specifically you're looking at 16th century wattle and daub houses in the English tradition, since we have windows with panes. So, oh. Game is loud. Let me see what I can do about that. Well, currently game is quite silent, but let's try that. Also, yeah, they do the thatch right. It's great. Oh, we are 10. We're off on our own. Let's do it. Go south. Go south. Obviously, south is down. Oh. Run, and we can't go that way. We can go inside everyone else's houses, though. This is not going to be the fastest playthrough of this. You can finish this game in about 15 hours if you're fast. But we're not going to do that, because I do want to try and find as many of the things as we can. Because this is going to be a great counterpoint to, everything else we do. Eventually there will be a Persona game, which does much the same thing, to a very different... Alright, let's go. Huh. Well, that went poorly. That also went poorly. Bad rocks. Well, we can't go up, we can't go down, so... There you are. Yeah, the speedrunners are ludicrous, but they abuse the gins super hard. Anyway though, right, to do that we missed out on a whole bunch of side content and a whole bunch of, everything, which is no fun for us. But anyway, this is also going to be a big deal for, when/if we get to Persona games, because we will eventually do that. And this will be a really interesting counterpoint, because they both do this thing. Right, they both do this really weird thing, where they have 7 billion mythological references, and don't do anything with it. Or rather, I should say, they do lots of things with it, but they do it for very different reasons, and to very different ends. Uh-oh. If our synergy runs out, Vale will be destroyed. Also, speaking of reference similarities to Persona, I love that Japanese games have the idea where if you need to indicate that something is mental, the stud in some way related to mental rather than physical, you just throw a P in front of it, and that totally works. That's how like English borrowings from Greek work, right guys? Japan sure thinks so. Synergy here, science in Persona 5. Well, that's awkward. Well, the rocks are making things hard for us. Hey, come on, be less dead. Wake up. As someone studying psychology, that's just how it works. Good to know. Fair. Well then. And Stavanger, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Oh! Our first guy. Oh, yes! Nostalgia music. Look, this music is just incredibly good. They did not need to go this hard with the entire soundtrack for this game, and they did. They chose to anyway, and I appreciate it. Yes, the vermin is basically a Meryl. But it's carrying a pitchfork, so you know it's scary. Anyway, Valif, you know, as far as when locks emerge, I know of, like, there are locks from a very, very long time ago. Obviously I don't know a whole lot of pre-medieval, but still, we're thinking about, like, at least... I think there are keys going all the way back into, like, the Bronze Age, in some places. But locks aren't a ubiquitous thing for a very, very long time. Oh. Uh-oh. The sentient mushrooms. Clearly this is how right? Pre-modern religion involving, like, eating mushrooms. Clearly these are the mushrooms. They get high by being punched in the face and hallucinating. Perfect. Folkloric references up the wazoo. Go. Well, that didn't work. Alright, back where we came. Gah, yeah. Stavanger, the OC Remix album for Golden Sun is so good. It's so freaking good. Uh-oh. Well, Felix is not living up to his name right now, because Felix should be lucky. That sure ain't it. He's not dead, which I suppose is something, but, he's struggling. Oh boy. Come on, Jenna. You're like 10, it'll be fine. Once again. Yeah, KJ, I'm not surprised by that. So, says the history of locks. The wiki article says that locks are 6,000 years old, with an example found in ancient Nineveh. And the reference was written by someone named De Vries. Now, I don't know for sure that that's the same De Vries, but there's a better than good chance. And that's okay. Nope, same guy? Okay. Phew, or not the same guy. Phew. He was prolific, so it wouldn't have surprised me, but... yeah, let's go. Okay, going to the plaza, gonna get help. Also, let me center this, because I realize that we are not actually centered. There we go. It is the most common name in Dutch, so, right, or one of the most common names, one of the most common names in Dutch, so we can't actually assume that it's all that De Vries, but the feeling is real. The suspicion is real. Anyway, a vermin and a bat. Turns out, you know, these guys don't have a whole lot to say. Interesting, though, I suppose the vermin does have, like, with the pitchfork, has very vaguely, like, references to demons or imps, which would make a whole lot of sense, in the context of this kind of really folklorically focused JRPG. Hello, everyone! Leander, it's good to see you, but... It might be a regular fork. They are very small. But still, like, the icon of, like, large ears kind of vaguely looking like horns, plus some kind of fork, says, or suggests, kind of this demon or imp type shape. Not actually necessarily going there, and also not actually saying, hey, look, these are actually demons. We'll see some later. We'll see, like, way later in the game we'll see actual demons. But this already, I think, kind of suggests it, though. At the same time, it is a very vague suggestion, and the name vermin wouldn't actually necessarily suggest that. So, yeah. Oh, Leander, try and get sleep, but also I'm glad you're here. Let's go! Oh, let's actually go instead of opening the menu. I agree, Leander. It is such a good emote. It is the greatest emote. And, you know, anyone watching who is not subbed, you can subscribe and get that emote too. And if we get 6 more subscribers, we'll get another emote. Anyway, theoretically we're gonna, you know, save Felix. He's fine. Now, let's be clear, this game has a problem of way too many text boxes, but it's a JRPG, so who's actually surprised by that? Oh. That being said, this opening was, this opening goes really hard. I love Garrett in that shot, just like, not even paying attention. Oh, well. Well, this is awkward. No, you won't. Your leg's busted. Aw, no, Jenna. Come on, everyone, stop. Yup, absolutely, immediately childhood scarring. And then they don't waste any time throwing the bad guys at us. Like, they are immediately going unbelievably hard with this narrative. Leander, that is absolutely better. I love it. And lo and behold, alchemy. Another demonstration of the awesome powers of alchemy. Because of course, not only is there synergy, there is alchemy. Because how else could we possibly know that we are in Magic Mental Medieval Land? Apart from literally everything else. Oh yeah, this... Right. Alchemy being the default thing is really common in medievalist media, and it's always slightly amusing to me. That being said, right, this game actually understands alchemy a little bit better than a lot of other things do. Because, well, the main goal of alchemy, is the creation of gold. The method of doing that is by various chemical processes that are supposed to isolate the amounts of hot and cold and wet and dry within the material, and then you can recombine those appropriately based on Aristotelian physics or Aristotelian natural philosophy. I like we're honest. Isaac, they look scary. Yeah, they do look scary. So, as far as it goes, alchemy being the manipulation of the elemental earth, air, fire, and water, i.e., let's see, earth is dry, fire is hot, water is wet, and air is cold. As far as the manipulation of those goes, right, that is not as bad of an interpretation of a thing to call alchemy as it sounds. You're right, this dude. I'll have to ask AC for Angelic Script Pog. Yeah, it is also the Four Humors Raptorus. It's kind of all the way down. Don't ask me to remember which one is which. I think Sanguine is hot. So, blood is hot. Yellow phlegm is... Oh, sorry, yellow bile is... wet? Black bile is dry? I don't remember. Anyway, yeah. Crab, you did notice, that did correctly point out that the composer did the soundtrack for Dark Souls. And, you know, as we get into this... Hey, nice crit. Ow. Well... Ah, it's Garrett. It's up against Garrett. He'll be fine. Oh. Oh, never mind. Well, that went poorly. Anyway, if you haven't seen, like, 8-bit music theories, stuff on irregular times, video on irregular time signatures, you should also check that out, because they talk about the final boss theme for the second game, and just... I did not need to go this hard. The second game goes... The final boss theme goes unbelievably, ludicrously hard on the dumb time signatures, and it is the most incredible thing. Anyway, 3 years later... God, the music is so good. And they are doing a very, very good and very real medieval thing of repairing the roof of your houses. Right? I mean, yeah, they're also practicing synergy. They're also practicing their synergy. But ultimately, right, this game has a slow start, but it kind of does that deliberately in order to, you know, actually establish a normal within this world. And I super appreciate that, because it means we actually immediately attach to these characters and actually feel like there is more to this world than just going around adventuring. Because even though all the mechanics are actually all about fighting stuff and solving puzzles, they're showing more mundane uses and the ways that or synergy and not synergy mix. And it's so cool. Oh yeah, we had a 3-year time skip. So everyone's teenagers now. Actually I think Isaac's supposed to be 17. Jen is a little bit younger, Jen is like 15 or something. Felix is the oldest member of the cast, and I think he's 19 by the end of the games. So yeah, we're absolutely looking at time skips. Yeah, he was totally about to say something. Stop it, Garrett. Seriously? Garrett! Garrett, stop it. Garrett is such a doofus. I love him dearly, but my god, he just like forgets how to words all the time. Anyway, look, see? We're just using synergy to move the thatch into place, and then filling it in correctly. Just casual-like, because that's the thing you can do in this world. Well, it was the thing you can do in Vale, at least. And it's good storytelling, and I think it does a lot, I mean, both for the world building and for understanding, like, the medievalism of the world. Because everything's, you know, like, somewhere between late medieval and early modern is generally our aesthetic. Gunpowder less, but otherwise... Uh-huh. We know it would have been. We're gonna kill them all. And you know, once we get into the world, literally all we'll be doing is punching monsters in the face. And then being confused. Aww. Wait till we ruin that. We're almost 17. Well, Mom, this is bad news for you. Also, Isaac still should have been a Smash Fighter. He would have been so good. Garrett. You're all standing on this thatch, and that's not great. I'm pretty sure Isaac forgot to say. So yeah, so Mount Aleph, you know, as I said, should be thought of as an origin point, being named after the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet, and this is why. It is the source and origin point of all alchemy, which is all of our magic. Yeah. It's great. There will be some real nonsense in this game later. Like, if you know this game's story, you know which part is the nonsense. And the extremely nonsense history, yeah, it's been 3 years, it's fine. And we just put a hole. Here we go again. Nope, don't do it. Don't do it, Garrett. We haven't finished. Oh. Well-made thatch, you said. Why do you have to say something, KJ? This is true. I'm absolutely going to go inside the house very quickly. Mostly just to see what stuff we can nab. Because there's got to be something. Just watch your step. And party members. Woohoo! Let's go. I don't know. What are you going to do about this hole? And if we go upstairs, I believe... No, those are all from windows. Right, window, 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 window. Thank you, books. How very helpful. Check the barrel, we didn't find anything. Some of these have interesting stuff, but not all of them. Windows, windows, fire, windows, book. Name refers to the origin of all things. Good. Good quality Hebrew pseudo-history. We like it. Uh-huh. Sir, how do you not know this? Also, nice swords on the wall. Oh, it looks so peaceful. Puppies. We should let them be. Yeah, that's fair. And... I don't think I have usable synergy. Sad. None of our synergies are catch. Which means I don't think we can grab that. Huh, we never repaired Jenna's house. She's been living like this the whole time. Well, we are terrible friends. Anyway, how much cash do we have? 310. I don't think that's enough for it to at all matter, but we'll pretend. I'm sure there's interesting things around here, but... you know, we're mostly interested in the item shops. It is a JRPG after all. A long sword, a short sword, a mace, or a wooden stick. Well, that makes 2 of our people better. And by a non-zero margin. Yup, and 90 coins for the short sword. Thank you. And in the armor? Punisher, travel vest, one-piece dress, shield, gloves, cap. We got a shield. And another one of those. This should set us up pretty much for like the next pretty significant chunk of the game, actually. Thank you. I guess? You don't actually care, but thank you. And see if we can buy like one heal item or something. Now we can buy several of them. We've got a few already, but let's buy a few more. Yeah, the pan flute is so good. Right, and right, I don't really have the training to talk about music in any super rigorous way, but I do love the way, like, music design and instrumentation sort of fits into ideas of history and what sort of reality they're aiming for with their game. And here, right, we're very much aiming for this incredibly rustic, idyllic thing. So it's almost getting into the romantic ideas of, ah, why is our sister mad? Oh. Oh. Well, that's awkward. Let me set move to that. Now let's just put that back. You saw nothing? You saw nothing. Yep, he's super dead. Nah. Hello? Oh, yeah. The purity of Mount Aleph. That's kind of a big deal. So, you know, as was mentioned a little bit earlier in chat, alchemy is really focused on sort of inner spiritual purity and the idea that gold was considered pure as a metal. So, right, one of the explanations for the perpetual failure of alchemy to actually create gold was that the spiritual purity of the people was not sufficient, right? People were not without sin, and therefore they were not able to kind of replicate this pseudo-miraculous thing of purifying gold. So a lot of the procedures of alchemy were supposed to be ritualized in such a way as to create purity for yourself. And so they reference that there with Mount Aleph, and the idea that it ought to be pure and failing will cause problems. And, you know, we were just talking about how they're using the pan flute to create a super bucolic and rustic atmosphere, a very romantic pastoralism senses. Still have a pan flute, but they're rolling that really pretty sick drum beat underneath it, and it changes the whole thing. Nah, totally not. Look at how, just listen to how sick that beat is. Yep. You know, you guys don't have to be. Sadros, Minority, you don't have to be so evil. Let's... Hello. Uh-huh. Alright. You could act less evil. I know you have reasons for what you're doing, but my god, are you not acting like it. Ooh, spooky. Earth, water, fire, wind, set them into motion. Oh. And of course, the drum is actually totally gone. There's no drum in this track at all. Huh. Right, everything's bass, as the extent of the stuff of relevance for a rhythm section. Neat. Did I win something? Slightly. Kraden, you seem cool. Extremely old, and extremely problems. Also, we don't seem to remember. We really don't seem to remember. Uh-huh. This is a bad idea, Kraden. No. Fine. Chat, work with me here. They're making bad decisions, right? They're leaving me in charge. Oh dear. Encyclopedia of Alchemy. All things are composed of 4 elements: earth, water, fire, wind. This is basically just like straight up perfect Aristotelian natural philosophy. Oh, nothing novel? Well, that's boring. One must understand the elemental powers, and that's what the script is. Well, Kraden is such a mood. Oh, they didn't waste any time. Yay. Oh, sorry, I will slow down a bit. There's a book entitled In Search of the Ancient Lemurians. So, this was the part I was saying of being really kinda oof history. And that Lemuria is not, and has never been, a real place. It was proposed, as you might actually guess from the name, to be a way to explain why there are lemurs in Madagascar, and I believe the other one was the Maldives? So it was proposed in the 19th century as a continent that's been destroyed, as a way to explain how lemurs could get across the Indian Ocean. And then, I need to look up her name. Just a moment, sorry for the music cutting out. one of the big names of problems. Where is it? Oh, yep, it's the Theosophists. Of course it's the Theosophists. Okay, where is the pseudoscience, though? There it is, Helena Blavatsky. That's who it is. So, Helena... Yeah. So, this is before the ideas of continental drift was established, and so it's like, well, obviously, like, they've got to get around somehow. Right. Oh, ow. So, then, Helena, Blavatsky... No, of course not. Just... Sneaky. So, yeah, who is... How to describe her? Besides... endless screaming. She was, to put it bluntly, a crazy person, who... basically was part of a group of rich white people who were of the opinion that India, or if you're the Brotherhood of Luxor that fractured off, Egypt, was the true origin place of religion, but white people clearly would understand religion better than the people who practiced the religion would, and therefore we're going to solve the truth about religion. And as part of that, she took this idea of there being Lemuria, and ran with it and said, oh yeah, there must have been some great ancient civilization that is where India actually got its religion from. And saw this idea that it was Lemuria, and we were like, yeah, that seems fair. And then did. And that was a thing. Well, that was a thing. It is exactly as yikes as it sounds. And it's obviously nonsense. Right. There's really no question, doubt, or shock on the idea that this is total nonsense. Ooh, Garrett dodged something. Be proud of him, guys. Be proud of Garrett. So, yeah. Unfortunately, you know, the Theosophists, despite being totally full of shit, and getting in huge fights with themselves, because no one over who could basically be more full of shit. Right, the Theosophists actually fracture right around the turn of the century into the Theosophists and the Brotherhood of Luxor, who disagreed as to whether India or Egypt was the better place for white people to do religion better from, because they couldn't decide who was more full of shit. But, despite that, somehow Lemuria still gets stuck. Because unfortunately they were really quite popular. I shouldn't have attacked there. Oh well. So, it's very deeply unlucky. I don't have a lot clever to say about it, but it is weird, right? It's, as you said, like in chat, it's Atlantis, Hyperborea, Lemuria. I'm actually not sure where Mu is. But really, it's those three are kind of the three most popular ancient civilizations for altist kind of urban fantasy settings. Like, there's a TV show on right now that my parents sometimes have on. That's, you know, standard like kid fluff urban magic parallel reality fantasy, but has Lemuria and associates it with like Egyptian iconography. So, well, that does freaking nothing. What's up? So, yeah. So that still is an idea circulating in modern conscious in 2021. So it being in 2001 feels pretty good, right? Right, it's not even just like History Channel eats it up. Because, yeah, History Channel does eat it up because, duh. But it's in much broader popular conscience than just History Channel. Pinning pseudo-history and dubious media takes on just the History Channel is, honestly, right, way oversimplifying. Something that has a whole lot going on. A relief of a Minotaur. No, that's just a bull. Oh, so the eye is not there. Well. Exactly. Right. But, you know, I think says the fact that we immediately reference the Minotaur should and does call to mind the Labyrinth. And given how badly I'm doing at these puzzles, I think that's a fair thing to be calling to mind. But, you know, a lot of Soul Sanctum here is already immediately a lot of really white stone. And even though it's not... Nope. Right, even though this is in no way, shape, or form really identifiable as Greek architecture, it still calls that to mind, and kind of the quote-unquote sacrality and purity of white marble in Greek material, even though, you might notice we are not in anything identifiable as Greek, and the battle painting is very much a standard D&D dungeon. As is this, to be honest, right? These big, like, relief carvings of people with swords, so knightly imagery. Very much, like, screams D&D dungeon. Yeah, it might... I don't think Minoan is a deliberate one. Right. But we're definitely aiming for a generically sacral thing, and there might... No, we should not help him. Yeah. You all are terrible influences. Chat, help me to persuade these people that we are all terrible influences. Also, these aren't even Ionic columns. These are just, like, weird, like, figurehead columns. But, yeah, you know, I don't know. If we see something that stands out to any of you lot as even more Minoan, you should say something. Slimes. Let's go. Oh, well. Isaac is very helpful here. Ugh. No, attack that one. Synergy, flare, attack that one. Synergy, also flare, attack that one. Got it. They have googly eyes. They're the greatest slimes. Naturally, you know, slimes are in no way, shape, or form, Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're D&D, right? I'm pretty sure they're nowhere before D&D. Because they're no way, shape, or form historical. Because it's just, it's goo. It's a statement that somehow or other, goos are actually dangerous enemies. And no. It is a little bit the grabby... if I just do that, and then have you attack there, and then I have you do there, maybe the double... Maybe the two speed people will be able to do this fast enough. Yeah! Raikou, this is the game with the Venus Lighthouse. That is the last place we go to in this video game, and we're in the first place we go to. So we'll be a long ways away from Venus Lighthouse. But you are correct. Oh boy, look at the mushrooms. Synergy Quake? I guess... Attack. Synergy Flat. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're just like straight up invented by D&D, and I don't know where they come from. Let me grab my phone and see if I can find out while not tapping out of the game, so we lose these sweet tunes. Yeah, because, right, the first feeling is that they're Dragon Quest, right? That is the place that slimes come from, as most famously from. Interesting. Nope, there is a... Okay, so the internet is saying that it's actually from one of the old Wizardry games, and Dragon Quest stole it from there. But it is Dragon Quest that is, like, the first one that gets properly big to do it. So, Dragon Quest is older than... Right? Dragon Quest, it should be significantly older than Zelda 1. As I just own these guys. Okay, so yeah, no, okay, D&D is... 1974 D&D is... Oh. Actually, no. 50s movies. Who said 50s movies? Because, 1958's The Blob. "1958's The Blob" might be the most direct inspiration. So... well done. And then the gelatinous cube and such slimes in 1974's Dungeons and Dragons. And then... yeah. And then into D&D from there. This essay I'm looking at tries to connect it to, like, the homunculi tradition of medieval alchemy. I don't think that's actually super... I don't think that's actually the most viable. Certainly not for video game slimes, right? Well, I could buy that there's cultural fascination older. In a very meaningful way, right? Video game slimes are not something... okay. Oh, that's just a circle. Okay. Fine. I'm taking the least efficient route available. Oh, wow. There are so many of them there. Okay. Get wrecked. And get wrecked. And get wrecked. Exactly. So, like, while there are slime, I guess, could phrase as there are slimes within the tradition in a relative... Okay. That was needless. That's fine, though. Okay. Wow. Vermin. My dude, stop it. There we go. Right, while there is grounds to, I think, connected to an older fascination, I think they're definitely... Yes, thank you. I couldn't have possibly realized. It's shiny. Ta-da! Yeah. Don't know. Certainly, like, for slimes of this form, I think there's no reason to say, hey, look at these as... coming out of a very old tradition versus just coming out of, like, 20th century pulp. And now we have an amaze, which I think is, yeah, it's like the basic level of Ghost. Well, this was exciting. They're truly very trollish about how they waste their time. Right. This game doesn't take it slow on how it can make you waste your time in its dungeon design. I'm pretty sure it's just the one on the end here, though. Pretty sure that's like the last one that's meaningful. Ta-da. Yay for just like wandering pathways. Yeah. Right. I don't know, right? I can't say for totally sure, and I feel like I am missing something in these slimes, but I think pop culture is our better place to draw from here than thinking about them as being part of a very old cultural idea. Anyway, which brings us to a really interesting point, right? A lot of what's going on here is blending history, pop culture, pseudo-history together totally freely. Right? Japan doesn't care. JRPGs broadly don't care about where things come from. As long as they sound cool and or fit the tropes we expect. Then I suppose it's all fair game. Let's put it that way. Yeah, let's go tell everyone. Jenna, you got the idea. Create it. Don't do this to me. Don't do this, man. Ooh. Ooh, that music is juicy. And just think, right, they're doing this music off of a freaking GBA sound card. The GBA sound card. Fine. Ooh! Ooh, and Northern Lights! What a shock! And no, actually, spoilers, Kraden is not evil. He's just horribly overenthusiastic. Kraden, what gave it away? that the thing with the moon in it and the northern lights and the stars symbolizes night. Creighton. So, as we go here, we're getting into another thing of medieval natural philosophy, and that is astrology. The idea that celestial forces have a meaningful impact on the world below us is just a super... Oh, nope, wanna go in here, synergy, cure. Sure. But, right, because this is a very meaningful thing. The idea that celestial forces can and did have an impact on the world around us. And therefore, we, want to actually try and control those and predict what they are doing. And when we do that, cool stuff is going to happen. And, this got accused a lot of being absolutely crazy stuff. Right? The actual demon stuff, and if you're trying to tell the future with it, that's a problem. Yes, it is. But you came up here in a hurry. It's a trap. We call lightning. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot of debate on what actually is going on. But... I think there was more people in favor of it than were opposed to it, and so ideas of trying to tell the future by reading the patterns of the stars and the movement of the planets was considered kind of heresy. There was at least one pope that got excommunicated after his death for it. Pope Sebastian II supposedly had a giant bronze head that he talked to, that told him astrological secrets, that did stuff. But its proponents were like, no, God set the planets in motion, we're just studying them because surely he coded hints for the future into the stars when he set them in motion, and we are just studying that. There's nothing demonic about it. I don't know what you're on about. Ignore the writings that summon demons, and John Dee hides. John Dee hides all of his angelic script. No, Creighton, I mean, yes, you can't just drop that on us. Creighton, try us. Yes, you are correct, Dragon Wolf. That is a very correct statement, and referring to the Galaxia is the correct instinct, because that is in fact one of the ones that it says, alongside many others. There are a lot of them. There are an awful lot of them. It's kind of silly. Really? Let me... There we go. Yay, demonology and all sorts of fun stuff. And... it didn't do something terrible. No, it still did something terrible. And we're good. We're good. Ooh, that is exciting, Capicrab. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all, but it is excellent. We maybe broke the moon. I'm not sure how, like, 2 mirrors creates a hole, but that's okay. That's okay. We're gonna just flip the moon and the sun, and that'll do stuff, because... Turns out that, inverting the moon and the sun from their proper places is probably bad news. Probably bad news. Yeah. And you know, that is something that we will see a whole lot, by the way, guys. Japan has weird taste in, like, stuff. Right? They just freely... I mean, we do... Western games use Japanese folkloric beings too as exotic, but... They have there's a very specific set of texts that circulate in Japanese popular culture from Europe and the US, and they'll be used over and 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 over again. There is so much media that draws on the Gosia, that draws on Norse mythology, that just randomly borrows stuff from classical mythology, a very specific side of things from Irish folklore. Right, yeah, the Women's Guide to Mythology is clearly one of those texts, but, right, there's a lot that made it into Japan in the after the Meiji Restoration, and especially after World War II, that just are incredibly popular, and you'll see them all over the place. And so, right, we're seeing a blend here of some classical, but an awful lot of, like, medieval and early modern, like, Christian iconography. After all, right, what are all these statues? These statues are angels. And if this is not telling you that this is, like, super easy shorthand for this being a sacred space, is just literally put angels in it. But also, it's one grounded in classical Greek realities. So... this makes stuff happen, as it turns out. Anyway, creative, like, this isn't all that hard. As we change from Sol to Luna, the giant glowy symbol. Giant glowy symbols. Let's go! And here we go. Real spooky music. One. Real spooky music, because we're on the moon. But think two. Notice what's on the other sides of both sides of the gate. This is the thing I really, really wanna... Yeah, Creighton, where did you... There you are. We're not on the moon. We're inside a volcano, by the way. Just so we're clear. Mount Aleph is a volcano, and we are inside the magma chamber. Also the ocean. But yeah, I would not say runes. I would say hieroglyphs. Okay, Creighton, if you say so. Also, there's totally land past the ocean. Have you played the second game? Creighton. No, don't do it. It does remind you of Stargate. Yeah, it reminds me of Stargate too. So, you know, that's actually a really good comparison point to the Abzu. I think that makes a lot of sense. Some sort of eclectic mix of the Abzu, the Duat. I don't even know. Right, any sort of primordial ocean, I think makes sense for this as a reference point. Because this is literal, I think, in a very literal and metaphorical sense, this is the center and progenitive point of the world that we are inside of. So, right, and the music confirmed that, the weird colors confirmed that, the reference to, obviously, like, things that we think of as incredibly freaking old, with this magic portal with hieroglyphs on each side, just screams ancient place. And it's hype as hell. The Venus star. Venus being Earth, the Earth, or just the element of Earth. The Mercury star. Water's many forms. Also good. The Mars star, glowing red with fire. Also good. And Jupiter, being wind. This is super good. Kraden, don't do it. Don't do it. No, you haven't. Come on, give us exposition. Give us exposition. The Wisdom Stone. The Stone of Sages. There we go. There we go. So it's a bad translation of Philosopher's Stone, right? Well, Stone of Sages obviously sounds better. I'm pretty sure that's just the localization team screwed up. And the Quintessence. No. Come on, tell me. Yeah. Of course I know of the Galder book. Which one? There's like 5 of them still around Kappa Crab? They're anywhere from like the late 15th century is the first one I'm aware of, all the way up until the Hull manuscript in the 19th century. No, see, Dragon Wolf, you're right, he sounds peak anime villain, but he's actually just like, he's just a mood. To my mind, he is just a huge mood. Except, you know, way too overexcited. Way too conquering the world. Kraden, you're way too overexcited about this. Let's maybe leave. He's also old. If he hasn't told you yet, he's old. No, Jenna, why are you like this? No! Fine. That was just the Game Boy startup noise, you're right, Ryuhimura. When we only have, like, a couple of megabytes of storage space, we gotta be efficient here. Just think about how much they accomplished on the Game Boy Advanced. Mithril! Woo! Hey. Oh well, here we go. I can't actually make that one. Fine, we'll go this way first. Can't make it that one either. No, I actually don't. Can I make this jump? I can make this jump. Okay. Let's get the Venus Star. Come on. Mithril is popularized by Tolkien. I don't actually know if he invented it, though. Right, that? Okay, no, it is truly a Tolkien invention. He's not pulling it off of other stuff. It is just Tolkien. Fantastic. Here we go, and we can now go up this way and get the next one. I know, he did something original. Things, places, and stuff, and we got the Mercury Star. Fine, we'll go fetch the others. Yeesh. Chill. And Jupiter Star. Here we go. Oh, and I'm sure everything's fine, right? Right? The music got quiet and everyone got confused. Womp womp. No, see, Minardi, you're not genre savvy enough. The music went quiet. The music went quiet and we got suspicious because we're the protagonists and we can hear the music going on in the world. Are you calling us thieves? Well, we are literally stealing it? Well, we are also literally in the middle of stealing the elemental stars. Relax. You will not be hurt. Gee, I wonder who this can be. With a very aesthetic mask. Right. Can we just agree he's got a super aesthetic mask? Really, really sick blues and greens. Also suitably edgy that he's practicing social distancing. Fine. No, we don't exactly have a choice in the matter. Luckily, Kappa Crab, it is his hair. Oh. I mean, yep, sorry. Yep. So, you know, we just got introduced to this badass character with hair, but this is a GBA game, and we don't have time for multiple scenes. What's wrong, Felix? Don't you want them to feel safe? So, yeah, by the way... Remember that guy we saw die, like, not that long ago? Yeah, he's fine. It's a GBA game. We don't have time for it. Jenna, please don't pass out. Look at him, he's so cool. He's so cool. No, he didn't. His model has exactly as badass hair, but it actually did change. It's just the resolution is so low that you can't actually see. You can see eyeballs now. The 2 pixels of white that make up the whites of someone's eyes in this game. It's great. Also, his model does almost look the same as his drowning, but a little bit older. Aww, no, Jenna. Side rows. You guys don't have to be evil. You know that, right? Oh well. Oh. Surprise. We don't know who this is. Hi, Alex. He has magic teleporting powers. Why he doesn't use the magic teleporting powers? Anyone else? To just get the stars himself? I don't know, but he can teleport. He does have good hair. He is also a huge jerk. But, you know, everyone in this game has amazing hair. Right? It's all the most predictable anime hair. It's all the most predictable anime hair. But it's all good, so I don't care. Right, like, it's just... It's all exactly what you would expect, but it's all done well. Hello. Talk to me. Shush. Yeah. Fine. Are you okay? Hey, Kraden! Who could have predicted that this would be a mistake? Aww. Everyone, give cats and hugs to Jenna, because she needs them. Oh right, we've gotta go all the way frickin' over this way. Let's go. Let's go. Last star. Ah. Kaboom. Exactly, right? This game is not subtle, but the point of this game is not to be subtle. This is not the most nuanced story in the world, but it's not trying to be. It knows what it's trying to be, and what it's trying to be is just that sweet, sweet medievalist JRPG. With just, you know, kick-ass music, and 5 billion mythological references. Also, yes, this is the terrible retribution. Jesus, Kraden, you heard that there was going to be pain. And we did it anyway. Who could have predicted this? Also, everyone say hi to God. I mean, yes, I know what it is, but, yes, this is the wise one. Yeah, it's looking at us. You guys should probably leave. This doesn't look good. Exactly. God is a flying eyeball in this game, because this is a JRPG where you don't end up fighting God at the end. Look. Look. I'm actually with Sadros on this one. There's a giant glowing rock of doom in between us and them. Let's just get out of here. Alex, you jerk. Really? Here we go again. Also, I love the little dialogue boxes of just emotions. It's such a good way of accepting the fact that the Game Boy Advance had absolutely atrocious graphics. And somehow making something really expressive out of it. I just love all the little touches of this game. Also, yeah, you know, right, if this was if this was actually, like, acted out with voicing, I think this would actually work a lot, this scene would work a lot better. Right, because as it is, there's about, like, a minute and a half of just, even if you're mashing, it's like a minute and a half of just sitting there and waiting and staring. But if this is everyone talking on top of each other, right, this is maybe 20 or 30 seconds of just talking. But that's okay, here we are. This turned out... nah, it's fine. It's totally fine, don't worry about it. It's only a volcanic eruption. Felix is there. He'll keep them safe. It's fine. Oh, Dragon Wolf, I'm glad you appreciate me having fun, because I am. Also, though, right, the next big game on the list is gonna be just, to me at least, is going to be a joy the entire time. Oh. It's not Skyrim. It just talked to us. This place has become dangerous. No! Oh, sorry, hang on. Hang on, BRB gotta stop the eruption. We're good. We're good. We're good. The volcano will erupt soon. I cannot hold it for long. And yes, I do think it has Sean Connery's voice for no reason. The Elemental Jinn, they have returned. And yes, God also did just tell us to, fuck off. Because, yeah. Turns out God's a pretty chill dude. Oh yes, also Jin. The threat of alchemy. It can be a dangerous power if it is misused. If the elemental stars ignite the flames of the 4 lighthouses, that power will be released. So we need to stop the lighting of the lighthouses. Ryuhimura, you are correct. This game does go down the list of mythologies and sticks them all with the same grab bag and just goes to town. And that is why we are playing it. God may have forgotten that we couldn't fly. So, God helps us. Let's go. Yes. God forgot we can't fly, and let's go. Honestly, this is another case where this is such a refreshing take on godliness after modern games, you know, being universally obsessed with ideas of the gods are actually evil forehead. What if divinity isn't good? For being a congenial, if slightly forgetful, extremely powerful being, it's just such a nice take. It's just such a nice take. Also, yeah, remember that, like, our village is at the base of a volcano that is now erupting? I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's all fine. But yeah, Jin are on the next list of things we will see soon, and then we'll start seeing lots of other things. And we're going to talk a little bit, for as many as we can, we're going to talk about a little bit about where they come from, and hopefully see a little bit of something about how this game at least understands reality. Also, yeah. Will Garrett be safe? No, no. He's almost certainly up there. Come on, it's Garrett. Didn't they say they were studying alchemy? And the mayor's starting to put it together. By the way, that's Garrett's grandfather, and he doesn't even get the dignity of a portrait. Uh-oh. Yeah. No. Yep. We're screwed. Guys, this was a fun game, but I'm pretty sure we're going to get murdered. I'm pretty sure the appropriate punishment for this is we are actually going to get murdered. In Soul Sanctum? Yeah. Yeah, they were. I'm bad at lying. Okay, we're just summing up the last hour and a half of gameplay. Alright. Alright. Let's go into the sanctum. Which is very peculiar. I'm not really sure what to make of these sanctums. Right. Religion in video games is always hard, because people don't necessarily understand religion in video games super well. And especially JRPGs that end up merging religious iconographies so much. It's hard to necessarily make sure what's going on here. Also, did you like the interpretive dance sequence of the, summing up what happened? But on the bright side, Felix is alive, guy, right? Exactly. Felix is alive, and therefore we're fine. Great healer. Well, that's a better way of naming it than, you know, bishop or shaman or the actual religious iconography term. But great healer is a translation of something, isn't it? I don't know what that would be a translation of. But he is a seer. The wise one has appeared to him in dreams. I appreciate it that they're acknowledging that prophetic dreams are a totally valid thing in pre-modern society. Right, this is a good thing. But we're gonna be a problem. That is amazing, Dragon Wolf. I actually love that. We'll just like run down we'll just direct the lava elsewhere. Volcanic eruptions aren't that bad. Something even more dreadful than Vale's destruction looms ahead. Yeah, the end of the world, don't worry about it. Yup. Yup, I do. Yup. Thanks, appreciate that. Oh no. So now we get our main quest. We must save ourselves. So yeah, the wise one is saying, yeah, no, fuck y'all, I'm not gonna do it. I could chase them down, but I'm not going to. Therefore, since we fucked up... even our mom knows this is a bad idea. Oh boy. Ah, Garrett. We can actually say no here. We are allowed to say no here. It ends the game. Let's not do that. Oh boy. Okay, that makes sense. Great healer is Dai Shinkan, and Shinkan is a priest word in Shinto. So, yeah, that makes sense. That Great Healer and High Priest are kind of the same thing. And it gels, you know, with the D&D power that these guys have of just healing stuff. right? Because the priests throughout the sanctums in every town can revive your dead people. You two are quite brave to take on this quest. I shall be watching you. Uh-oh. He's just gonna yeet out of there, okay. Well, that's exciting. Yeah, so we can revive our deceased party members in true JRPG fashion. And also, right, there's just... The Guidance of the Star. I'm trying to have coherent things, but I do kind of love this guy's design. Daishin-kun, come on, tell us more. There we go. Right, now that we can see his guy, he's wearing this big, like, long purple and blue mantle, majestic beards, and an incredibly tall collar. And I like, as far as the super stylized idea of our classic wizard figure, it's super good. It communicates everything you need to know about this guy, of that, 1, he is knowledgeable, 2, that he does magic, and then the fact that he's in a temple space says 3, he's probably a religious figure. Especially with the little wings on the sides of his face and the back of his hood. Right, really says everything you need to, and it's good design. Good character design. Meanwhile, these other guys look far more like a very specific idea of a monk. So these lower priests, right, are not actually tonsured, but you get the sense that they're tonsured even though they're not, so that the top of their head is shaved, for the most common type at least, that the top of their head is shaved but they've got a ring of hair, which is very much, fitting into a Christian monastic tradition, and so communicates an image of these guys as priests, very much like images of Martin Luther, but with more beard. So, yeah. Yeah. Well, everyone is terrible. But that's okay. That is totally okay. Then, we should probably go right away. On the grounds of there's a volcanic eruption. Ah! Well, thanks, Mom. Welp. Why's everyone hanging around the town gate? What, didn't you hear? Hades and Garrett are leaving Bale on a journey. Everyone is surprised. No, you really don't. There's a lot of, like, undeads and nonsense. Puppy! Yeah, what about it? Well, that is weird. Puppies! Well, I don't actually know. We'll have to try. Everyone's counting on us, Isaac. And Garrett, I guess. That's probably a mistake. In herb. Yes, I noticed. No? Aww. But You know, KJ, you're not wrong. The town gate being so rustic really does give the vibe of like the natural arch or natural feeling arch for a wedding. Aww. Aww. Ow, my ears. Listen to the music. Anyway, we wanted to meet Jin, right? In Islamic folklore, the Jinni are fire spirits that were created alongside humanity by Allah. And so, right, they're made purely out of fire. And so, are incredibly powerful, but also often very malicious to humans. They come, originally they're not tied to the wastes, but in later folklore they become tied to wasteland places, deserts, and places of destruction, especially among the Ifrit. In this game, they go, screw all that. And so there are Jinn for all 4 of the elements. Won't you please take me along with you? I'm a Venus Jinni. My name is Flint. Once I'm a comrades, we're separated from each other when the volcano erupted. Your synergy will go stronger, and your adept skills will also improve. You can call us in battle, or just use our power to boost you around. Call many of us at once, our powers will work together. So this is the summon system in this game, where you can use the Jinn to attack, and then if Jinn are not set, if they're not actively improving your guys' combat skills, you can use them to summon stuff. Naturally, a bunch of the summons. Come on, I promise you won't regret it. Please take me with you. No. Please? Never let you down. Can't I go with you? No. No. Aww. I know, I'm being mean. I am being mean. He's very cool. No. No. Me. Coming with us anyway! Luckily, he doesn't hold a grudge. Oh, of course we couldn't actually say no. So, we go in here, and we can play inventory management games forever. And if we do, it's actually really impressive, right? The amount of stuff they do with this Jinn system is wild. Yeah, so Kappa Crab, each Jinn type looks different. So the Venus Jinn, the Mars Jinn, the Jupiter Jinn, and the Mercury Jinn all look different. But they all roughly have the same idea of being two-legged, no arms, just kind of like bummed around. Da-da-da, you can use us to unleash our powers. Okay, thank you. So, it does a whole bunch of stuff. Hey, look at that, a zombie. Our next folkloric being. This one's kind of problematic because this is just borrowing from D&D, which makes, and, you know, from before then, zombie movies. That just makes zombies into generic undeads instead of an actual thing in Vodon. And the zombie being an actual sort of... Yeah, I've seen different traditions, but my understanding is sort of hypnotized and or cursed. But still very much a real and living person that is sort of mindless. And we get static buffs. And then doing that. Boom. We attack someone. The Jinn will then stand by to be summoned. Once we are in summoning, we can summon them. And the first time, we simply summon an Earth Elemental, essentially. Which goes kaboom. And then does that. Yeah, and accuracy is going to be in relatively short supply for these, but at least they're representing a relatively wide swath. You know, in the grab, if they take the entire grab bag of popular culture, you end up with some diversity in there. Yeah. Regardless, zombie can be my understanding, and this is limited, and please do not take me as an authority on this, but is that zombie can be used as sort of servants, for both ritual and more mundane purposes for a magical practitioner, but are generally not good to interact with, right? They are functionally dead, regardless of how the state is induced, they are functionally and at least temporarily dead. And that's where the idea of them being undead actually comes from. Yeah, this game isn't even going to achieve that much Dragon Wolf, I'll be honest. Right, we're really not going to achieve even that much. Yes, I did get all that. Thank you. Right. Odysseus is an anime girl in this. Also Odysseus. Ooh, that quality screen shake. Oh yeah, here's our entire continent of our game world. And we'll be going pretty much everywhere in this. And just think, this is like a quarter of the size of the second game's world. It's absolutely insane how huge they made this. It's another slime, let's go! Wait, what? Why do I not have the Jinn set? Jinn? Set. Thank you. And... the bats. The bats are back. Oh, I do not one-shot them yet. Good. I was very worried I was about to one-shot him. Because this game doesn't have auto-targeting. It just doesn't. Someone is running away. We can't stay another minute in a dangerous place like this. We must return to Calais immediately. Because of course, you know, it's not just Europe. Furthermore, we talked about this a little bit earlier, but I'm happy to repeat it. So, as far as we can find, the origin point seems to be, like, maybe some stuff from much earlier, but really we're looking at, like, 1958's The Blob. A very bad sci-fi movie, dubiously based on dubious historical events, that involves a slime, like a blob of goo, throwing up to eat a Midwestern town. Gary Gygax used that as his base for his, like, gelatinous ooze, in first edition D&D in 1974, and then Dragon Quest. Well, actually, it's like the first wizardry game in the Western RPG scene. Pulls off of D&D, and then Dragon Quest pulls off of that. And once Dragon Quest is just a mega hit, right? Absolutely a giga hit in Japan, and is hugely influential for the entire JRPG genre, and really for video games as a whole. And since it had slimes, everyone else is gonna have their take on slimes. Well, someone with strange powers? Master Hammett, what do you mean? Well, that's not good. Heading north? Oh no, we'll end up in Lunpa. This is not a good idea. This really isn't a good idea. Also, we are just standing there watching them have this entire thing. And now we're in Vault. We exit Vale, and now we're in Vault. And we've actually been going for 2 hours already. God, I love this game. So, we are not going to do anything in Vault. We're just going to call it a night here. And, very much come back to this game soon. Because this isn't a long by JRPG standards, but, yeah, we're in the second area of the game. And thank you, Thirdborn1997, for the follow. So, yeah, we'll be back. Probably not. I think next week we're going to finish off Greece, which, thank you, YouTube comments, very helpfully informed me that the dev team is Spanish. And so it's Greece, not Greek. And so we're gonna, but probably the week after that we'll come back to this. So, because I love this game too much, and there's plenty to talk about. You're not wrong, and I resent it, but it's probably only gonna be like, I don't know, probably 30 hours-ish? 30 hours-ish. So yeah. Meanwhile though, right, I think I put that in the schedule. If I didn't, it'll be the week after. One of the next 2 weeks will be Greece. That's actually what I put. No, that's important. Sorry for the music cutting out. What did I actually put in? Yeah. So yeah, next week is the other half of Greece. And then, weekends, if you don't know, are Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So, we're almost at the very end of the game, but next week is a great one to tune in for, because I'll be joined by a geologist. And we're going to take a tour through the entire game world of AC Valhalla, and do a bunch of cleanup of all the side quests, and Order of the Ancients, and all that nonsense that we haven't done yet, and talk about the environments and overall thoughts on the history. Then, the week after that will be the finale, where ish. In that finale, we're gonna talk about, go to Valhalla and finish off the main story. And then 2 weeks later, we'll have, a few weeks later. Unfortunately, the DLC was delayed for AC Valhalla. So, we will be playing other games until May 15th, which is when we'll have the Super Stream. So, make sure you're followed, make sure you join the Discord, the link is in the About section, and all that jazz. And I will catch you all this weekend for more Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which has just the worst game in every way, I'll be honest. Right, less style, not as fun, and way worse music. Because these tunes are just so good. I mean, unfortunately there will be a DLC, but unfortunately, the suffering is delayed. Anyway, I hope you all are looking forward to those, and I'll catch you all soon. And otherwise, I hope you have a good rest of your week, everyone. So, see ya!